Thank you very much, President. Mr. Orban, welcome to the European Parliament. Welcome to the home of European democracy, where we defend our ideas and the European project. Your main contribution to the European Union since you came to power in 2010 was the formation of a new far-right group here in this Parliament, who we call the false patriots, you could say. And it's precisely you that has used your false patriotism to demolish democracy, to survive on corruption and to violate the rights of those who do not think like you, because you said that you want to defend Europe. The problem is the Europe that you defend, only allows in those who think like you. It ignores the other Europeans, and that's a serious problem for democracy, because Europe is a mix of people. It's diverse, it's pluralistic, and what makes us great is that thanks to those differences, we've been able to move forward together and build a common project. How can you talk about homophobia and gender-based violence when in your country you are removing the rights and the laws that protect women and the LGBT community? Please, that is a real danger. Please, be consistent, Mr. Orban. One more question. Are you aware of the harm that you are causing to the European society by sowing hatred towards what's different and those who feel different? Mr. Orban, your false patriotism is full of a defense of Christian values. What do you mean by Christian values? Christianity is about neighborly love, compassion and human dignity. Christianity teaches us to welcome strangers, to care for the vulnerable and to show solidarity with those who suffer. Closing borders to human beings who are fleeing war and persecution is a betrayal of Christian values. Your false patriotism also. You criticize the EU criticizing Hungary about Hungary, but then you talk about millions of funds going to corrupt oligarchs. You demonize the European Union, yet you are bowing to Putin's regime. And you show disregard for human rights. What kind of peace are you talking about? How do you talk about peace with a tyrant such as Mr. Putin, who has an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court for the murder of children? There are bombings of hospitals and schools. And we also need to talk about the situation in Hungary, the lack of judicial independence, one of the lowest purchasing powers in the European Union, one of the highest inflation rates in the EU, as an non-existent system of social protection, taxes on huge multinationals, and the people in Hungary are paying the highest VAT, and you blame the EU. This is the classic method of the populists and the far right. They're blaming others for their own incompetence. The real patriots do not become rich at the expense of their homeland. They don't sow fear in order to accumulate power. True patriots asserts his sovereignty in the face of challenges such as climate change. It calls for unity to work together and defend ourselves from Trojan horses. The EU was built on the promise to end authoritarian regimes. The Hungarian people has also been an example of the fight for freedom since the revolution of 1848 and the uprising against the Soviet regime in 1956. That promise is alive now. We need to remain firm and united in the defence of our freedom, our union, and of our democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I give the floor for the PFP Group, Kinga Gál.